I am an investor, by the way, and I'm so interested in the African ecosystem in terms of what's happening with the startups and stuff like that. So I provide mentorship and stuff like that. So your story caught my eye. And so let's talk about what happened. How did you pitch when you had your startup week, when your organization or your startup was chosen for the top 10, right? And you made it, and your project was just a baby. Talk to me about that.
So Content Creators Week, that was an interesting thing because I applied without knowing the brief for the competition, which was civic society. If I had known that before, I wouldn't have applied. I would have assumed we don't fit this brief. But after applying, they said, come and pitch. We like what you're doing. Went there, we pitched. Fortunately, we came, I think unfortunately really, we came 6th out of 10 startups. But yeah, it was a good experience. It was my first time pitching. Yeah. As a person who was in media, I had attended many of those things and watched on, but it was my first time actually pitching and seeking out a grant.
Yeah, but I don't really think that was unfortunate, because I always believe that every experience is working towards my bigger good, right? It doesn't matter good or bad, but that experience positioned you in terms of you didn't know the brief. So I think you did amazingly well. And more than anything, money cannot buy that experience. Yeah. So you did well. And I think it validated your idea.
Yeah,
right.
That's a very important thing to say. So from the micro grant that we won, it also got us new equipment. So there's a lot of value in that. Our production quality rose, I think, significantly. Even if you watch the episode before and after that competition, you can actually tell visually that there was a difference. So when I say unfortunate, it's one of those where I wanted more, but definitely every experience serves to inform a later experience, I think. So in that regard, next time I know what to prepare for. So
absolutely. And that takes me to my next question, because I'm always interested in understanding how, when people have got their ideas, and what is that first step that they take in terms of raising capital, right? So for you, you've just mentioned that you did get a bit of a grant. Talk to us about that. How did you plan your first initial capital and then getting the grant? And how has that been for you?
Okay, so the initial capital was actually not the grant. The initial capital was savings from my time at CheckUp. I'm generally like a really frugal person.
Really?
I do not like spending money that much. So I had not a ton of money, but I had enough money to start a business. And I had a couple of ideas that, because of COVID, I couldn't act on. The only idea that I could act on during COVID was Story Untold. And I took my savings, bought a couple of pieces of equipment, and I leveraged the contacts I had, as I said earlier, and we started shooting. So that was the initial capital. It was money from my pocket. And then after 5 months, we went to Content Creators Week. We got a micro grant. It really was just $500, to be fair. It was $500. The top price was $2K. We got 5, and used that again to invest in more equipment, better lighting, better microphones. But the bulk of the funding of the business has come out of my pocket. So I've got a part-time job, and then that's the capital that goes into the Story Untold.